Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have some tea here, some blueberry tea. So we're going to be talking about the art doll journey that I've taken over the last couple of years, I believe since about 2018. And my name now is Lightfoot Felts. So you might see Mishka and me designs on some things. That's kind of how I started. So I'm going to be talking first about how I was started in the Amigurumi. So I'm going to have some show and tells of that today, and then we will get into the needle felting in a few videos down the road. I know that's why most of you are here for the needle felting tutorials, and I promise it will be coming shortly. Just wanted to give you a little background on the decision-making process of what led me to the art that I work on now, and maybe you'll be trying to make those same decisions and go in a different path, which is cool. That would be fun too. So yeah, it's really exciting. Let's turn the camera down, and I have some show and tells, and be good. All right, I'm glad you're here. Thanks. In case you were all wondering and you're not running away thinking, I don't want to do amigurumi, we're not. So I'm just showing you that some things today. So this is where we're going to be headed. This is the needle felted portion, and that's what I'm going to be ultimately doing the tutorials on. Actually, the whole construction. This was one of my first dolls. The construction of her body and the jointing and just everything. We're gonna go over everything. So that's where we're headed. So hang tight if this is what you want to learn about. And like I said, I'm going to be teaching you all the mediums. So there's clay in here. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about clothes and hair and just everything. There's shoes, jointing, different kinds of jointing, pattern making for cloth dolls as well. So there's going to be a lot of things. I tried to separate it into weeks of videos. So every week will be something new. And then once we get through the process, it's going to be about 20 weeks, give or take, but there will be needle felting tutorials before the 20 weeks is up. And then we will make a doll, and I will show you everything. So hang tight, okay? So this was the very first one that I made, and he's a little robot, and he's very old and floppy. This was about 11 years ago. So he's held on. Learn how to crochet. There's so many YouTube books. He is crochet, but this is a great knitting one as well. And you can use it for making clothes and things like making anything. So they have knitting, and this is the I Taught Myself Knitting book. And then this is the I Taught Myself Crochet book. So these are like $10 at, one of the Walmart or Michael's. So you can get one of these or just look up YouTube videos. But these are super easy, and it's just so great to learn how to do. And I will use crochet in making some of the doll clothes. So if you're interested in it, you can look that up and find those, and they're really great. Let's see, I guess next would have been this big guy, and I wish I could get them in the whole picture. I may have to work on that. He's a little bigger than the table. So this was one of my first dolls, and I'm going to show you my Etsy page where there we go, where I have a pattern of him. So I'll put that link on and show you, but he has a slap bracelet. Do you remember slap bracelets from the 80s? Whoops, this one's not wanting to go out. Anyway, he's got little slap bracelets in his arms, and I thought that was, oh, there it goes. I thought that was so clever at the time that I made him, and then so he's can do hugs, and it's just really fun. So I made him, and yeah, and then I wanted to show you the difference between, there's his hair, between sewn on hair, which is not stylable, and we'll go over hair differently than this, but this is pretty basic. Like I said, he was one of my first, dolls. And so he has the sewn on hair. You can't really do too much with it. One of the other guys, here's another guy. Let's take you out of there. This guy that has more of the styleable, now he has very little, but more of the styleable hair, brushable hair. He has a little mohawk, and these are all very well loved. The crochet is great because you can give them to a child. These were all for kids, which is why they're so well loved. But his little shoes can actually come off, and the clothes. So that is one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, is deciding whether you want your clothes on your dolls to be removable, or whether you want them to be sewn on. So we will go over that in depth in one of the videos and talk about the pros and cons of the two different hairstyles of styleable hair versus sewn on hair, and deciding on that, and then the clothes that can be removable versus sewn on clothes. Obviously with the removable clothes, it's fun for a kid. It's a little tricky to get this one off. They're pretty tight. And you know, they're fun to take off and on versus the ease of sewing something on. And I'm going to show you in a later video how to actually make clothes really simply, by just sewing them on and not having to make a pattern. Like this is obviously a crocheted pattern, and almost like what we would make for ourselves, because it's a piece that you can take off and on. And so I'll show you that later on. So that's that guy. And then they have a little bit of wire in the body so that they can kind of stay a little bit, they're pipe cleaners, in the position that you put them in. And I say they because there is another little guy. So this is another little guy, and he's a little judo guy, and he's pretty funny. So his hair is more of the sewn on style where you can't really do much with it. If this was longer, you know, you could braid it or something, put it in a ponytail, if it was a girl, or a long-haired boy or something. So this one, there's not much you can do with it. So the fun that we did have with this one is that you can change out his belt color. So when the person that you give it to, this one was for my child, when he would get another belt, go up in a belt, then his little guy would get another belt color. So that's been kind of a fun thing to do along the way. So those are all the different belt colors that we've gone through. So that's pretty fun. One of the other things I wanted to show you was with the Amigurumi, you do have to have patterns. So this is my Etsy page, and that is how I started, was basically selling crochet patterns. And it's a lot of time making the patterns, following the patterns, and you know, you can always buy someone else's pattern, which would be easier. I never quite wanted to do that. As a creator, I always wanted to figure out my own kind of thing. So these are the patterns that I had on there. Well, I still have on there. And I moved away from the Amigurumi because it wasn't quite fulfilling what I wanted to accomplish with the texture of the faces. So I didn't like that I could see the bumping, you know, of the faces. There's some wonderful artists out there, crochet artists that do this, and they're just super cute. But it wasn't the direction that I wanted to go in. So I wanted to show you these just in case it was something that you wanted to do, and to highlight some of the artists that do have wonderful patterns out there, and you can find them on Etsy, and then you can make these cute little people. So and all kinds of things. Some of the other items that I made, this was a little gnome that I have on, I believe he's still on my Etsy page. And so his hair would be one that, you know, you could style. You can play with it. It's not really sewn on. It's kind of wild and free. And his crazy eyebrows. These were all for my kids. So, and then his clothes are like we talked about with the removable and the fixed clothes. And these are obviously fixed on, but it has this fun little ruffle that you can push up and down, and just to get a feeling of playfulness and of removable clothes. And his little boots have a cuff that you can put up and down. But so that's one of the things that you have to decide, is whether you want your clothes on your doll to be fixed. Is it going to be for a child? Is it going to sit on the wall or on a desk, you know, and not be touched? So a lot of the needle felting, you can't really give it to a child. So it's not really a toy to be played with. Some of it you can manipulate around and position for fun, but it's not going to be, you know, something that they can have in their bed or in their room. And these are all quite a few years old, so they've been roughed up, but they hold up pretty well. So if you are interested in doing this, I'm going to put some links on the page of some artists that I follow, and they have some really fun things. And crochet is not difficult to learn how to do. It's really fun. So I just wanted to highlight some artists on Instagram that I think that you would enjoy taking a look at. So I hope the artists don't mind me highlighting them. It's all positive, so I wouldn't think that they would. But these are just some people that I follow that you might be interested if you like the Ami style. So this person's name is Crafty Tibbles, and I will put the link on the page on this video. So these are just, they're all amigurumis mostly, and they're just so cute. I mean, just super, super neat dolls to look at. So and if you want to see the progression of where I kind of started, this is my Instagram page, and I will link that as well. And my name again is Lightfoot Felts. I'm going to put the link on the bottom. You will also see it say Mishka and Me Designs. I haven't quite had the heart to let that go, just because it was my dog's name. So we lost her, and I started, my very first pattern was a diaper cover for her, and yeah, so that was kind of where we started. But now I'm transitioning into my new dolls with the felting, and so I felt like a name change was due. So you can kind of look through and see the progression, and interestingly enough, it will follow these videos. So you'll be able to kind of see where I started at the very beginning with the Ami, and then moving on into the dolls through the different mediums. So kind of interesting to follow that through. So if you want to take a look on there, that's great. And I have one more artist that I think you might like. So let me just find their page. Okay, this is the last Instagram page that I wanted to show you, and the name is Not Bad, and I will put the link on there as well. And so he is just really great. He has fun little Amis. They seem super easy. They're a good place to start, I think. Great reels, really entertaining videos, and yeah, I just really like his style. It's fun, really fun for kids, and it seems pretty easy to do in my opinion. And for someone starting out, I think you could follow it pretty well. So again, his name is Not Bad. So this will be the last time that we talk about the amigurumis. I will bring up crochet again because I do use it in my clothing for the dolls, and it's just a great skill to have. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, there's great YouTubes. I showed you the books. So thanks for joining me for today. I hope it was interesting. If you're not into the Amies, don't worry. We're going to move on. So, all right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Next video, I'll be talking about how I learned about needle felting and what I did to start down that path. So make sure you like and subscribe, and also leave me some comments on what you'd like to see. Thanks.